So very good evening to all. All right, I can see that five, six people are there, including me six. Fine, it is audible and warm welcome. So we'll start the session. And before starting, I have posted you the topic which I have shared already to you. Okay, which we had discussed up to yesterday. I have shared it. That's like a only matplotlib I have shared you. And based on that, we have covered one by one. So if you're observing one by one, individual topic, what you have discussed, I made as a one content. I have shared you as a topic wise, which we have as a syllabus, which to be followed for the delivering part. So it is done, and what else is remaining? So don't think that matplotlib is just like that to over. It's not overing part. It keep on moving. So just we started yesterday and day before yesterday, just slowly moving on. So nothing but few more representation is there based on the scatter plot, and we have something called as a bar chart, pie chart, histogram is there. So based on the bar, how to represent the bar. So many kind of types of bar we have. So which type of bar you want to represent. So finally these kind of stuffs you will be should be knowing for sure, because if you have started to know what is matplotlib is, for sure we have to learn how the bar is going to be working. So chart wise I'm telling. So now before starting, share my screen a bit minute. Okay. So I think so yesterday we have discussed, just a minute, 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. Just I got a call from Karthikapana ma'am, and it's like a small update from her side. Nothing but just like today is going to be the ninth day, and tomorrow will be the final day. And most important thing, based on the assessment as I was telling from the beginning. So I'll try to share the material for everything. So in the sense like a IPIMB file, I'll try to share everything. So try to go through all the content which we have discussed and prepare for that. Just what the just a call I got, like everything is ready. Just question paper I have shared already. So before I said, 5th day itself I shared already, and everything is uploaded. And finally I'll tell you how many questions you have to take for the test, and what is the time, and like I'll give you some time to revise everything. So tomorrow is going to be the ending day. If tomorrow is once it is ended, and next day till it will not be good to conduct the assessment test. I'll give you at least 1 or 2 days of our time to recap all the things, okay, to learn everything. And please cover Python also. So don't think like what we are discussing. So just we have started only called as what is pandas, what is numpy, and what is matplotlib. This is what we'll discuss, but doesn't mean that your question paper will be like as a test. So you'll be getting a question based on pandas, numpy, matplotlib also. Other than this, weightage will be given for general programming, like how to go with a list, string, tuple, so even dictionary, even set, which were discussed already. Even that, not maximum 1 or 2 questions you might get, because that is a base. Without the FOP, we cannot go into the Python, and we cannot distribute the certificate as such, because some value should be needed for that certificate. So if you know something, for sure you'll be getting that certificate for sure. So be thorough with these three topics compulsory. Maximum 85 percentage, we can tell as a 90 percentage of the question from these three only, and remaining 10 percentage can be a 2 question, can be 3 question. So like that, not more than that. So like that kind of questions and all should be like a be aware of basic Python should be known. So this sufficient. Maximum you might get 15 to 25 questions, so it can be anything. So 5 question based on the pandas, 10 question based on the numpy, 5 more question based on the matplotlib. So if you attend in the regular class lively, you can get 100 out of 100. Maximum I can give a confidence that 90 plus you can score. If you're not regular to the class, and if you're not doing any implementation, you will confuse there. Okay? If you are implemented properly, step by step, what we have discussed as a topic wise, if you are implemented one by one, by seeing the question, you can feel that yes, I have discussed this already. Yes, I can do it. You will have that confidence to attend. And if you feel that something is new, then you have not attended the session, or you have skipped the topic. This is going to be the only meaning. No more question. We have cross-checked everything. Like no more out of question. Everything what we have discussed, what I have handled as a topic, that is going to be the question. And what question we have discussed as it is, you'll not get. So values will be different. Hope everywhere you know that how the questions examinations will be there. So I'll tell you the pandas means we have discussed some MCQs in the middle of the session, in the 7th day or 8th day. I'm not sure about it, and we have discussed few MCQ questions. So from there also you'll be getting not as such same type of questions you'll be getting. So be prepared for that. And when will be happen? When will be conducted? What is the timing? That will be updating in the tomorrow session. Just I want to inform you to go with the learning categories. So start preparing. It can be for start from Sunday, I think so, or Monday. I'm not sure, but be ready for everything. So fine, guys, without making any delay, we'll get started. Okay, so yesterday we are discussing about. So we have discussed about what is matplotlib, and data visualization is called as matplotlib. We can go if you want to visualize the data, you can either use a matplotlib or you can use a seaborn. So anything is fine. And according to us, we have chosen is going to be matplotlib. And if you want to explore more about the seaborn, also very simple. If you know this, that you can learn by your own. And what is topic wise, where is the topic wise which I posted in the WhatsApp? These are the topics will be covered from my side. So totally yesterday we have discussed what is matplotlib, and what is pyplot. To float in the graph, you have to go with the pyplot, and how to go with the x-axis horizontal wise and the vertical wise we have discussed. Floating without line, yes. So you will be having a corner point will be there. So this to that point alone will be there, as a marker alone will be there. So multiple points also we have discussed. Other than the 1 or 2 points, we'll be having a many points that discussed it, and many types of marker and its reference. So we have different types of markers we have discussed, and FMT also we have discussed. So that is format string we used to tell. Line reference, what kind of line you want to use, like a dotted line or a dash line, or a dotted dash line. So these kind of things we have discussed, and a color reference, what kind of color you want to give to that line, either a blue or green or scattered, everything you can move on. And marker size, exactly, we are discussing about the marker size. So by default you'll be having 2 to 3 will be the, so if you want to increase to the 5, 10, 15, yes, so marker maximum 15 looks super. Yeah, not more than that. And a marker color also we have discussed with the two types of marker color. So how to border the marker color, and for the inside part, so how to place it, we have discussed. That is a both, we have used both MEC, that is, ME is nothing but marker edge color, and MFC is nothing but marker the front color we used to tell. So that facing part, so what you're facing, so you have a top face, front face, side face, like that kind of face. So that face alone you'll be trying to color. So that we have discussed. And a line style, so what kind of lines you have to make a style. And line width, so if you want to increase the line width, yes, you can increase. So multiple lines, how to give a multiple lines also we have discussed, hope you can remember. So in your chart you'll be having a green color will be there, orange color was there, and blue color was there. Three lines we have discussed, that is called as a multiple line. And for that multiple line you can give a label. So what kind of label you want to give, X label we have discussed, Y label we have discussed, and title, most important thing, title. So this belongs to what, so that title we have discussed. And how to send the properties, so title, what kind of title you want to make. So that font size we have discussed, it to increase the size. And if you want to place the title, so that position we have discussed. Next is the position. So by using the LOC, so to lock at the left side or right side or a bottom or a up, so we have discussed the such kind of things when you're going with a lock. And last topic we have discussed about the how to add the grid lines to the float. So you will be having a graph. In that graph, you will be having a line. Center lines will be there, so that I can point very clearly that 5.5. So from the x-axis and the y-axis, 5.5 is going to be my starting point, and ending point is going to be this point. So we can figure out when you have that grid. So up to here only we have discussed. Yeah, so I think so up to here we have discussed, and today we'll discuss few more things. Like there's nothing but a more, so that like within one day, I think so 1.5 days, I think so we have covered. I can tell 2 hours mostly we have taken to complete this, and this alone will take nearly 2 hours maximum. It takes 1.5 hours. Let us see. So 2 hour it won't go, because already we have what is the title, we know what is the scatter we have discussed. So it don't take 2 hours, but plan is going to be given as a two, but maximum we can complete 1.5 hours. Let us see if it is extending, no issue at all. We'll go with the next class. One more backup is there, we can use it. Yeah, fine. Let's get started. And yeah. So you can see here, these are the things we have discussed. So set the font property. So how to go with the font size, that is family. So family, color, size, we have discussed. That is what. Then last is nothing but title, to position your title. So inspire should be in the left side or a right side or a bottom or a left or right. So we have discussed about it. And same thing last we have discussed about the add grid. Okay, so this is going to be the line. So and we have wind up here. Now when you're going with a grid is nothing but in between you will be having a line. So this is that, like blue color is going to be my main line, and you can see here in this point I am starting and moves on somewhere it is moving, and finally we are able to figure out so whether it is touching that exact point or not. So if it is a grid, very simple to tell that I can use it very simply. Okay, now example you have in other way we can tell, like suppose you have point wise, suppose you have like only marker called as, I'll start from here. I'll pin it as raw information. I'll take up pipe float as PLT. Suppose you have, I'll go with a NumPy. So by using NumPy, we'll go. Maximum today we'll use a NumPy based on that will visualize the data. So in this, I'll keep as a y point, ypts. So equal to suppose np dot array. So in this array, I'll try to give a value as a function, and here I'll try to give value 5, 15, 66, 22, and 70 or 99 I'll give. So now So here I'll go with a PLT, that is my alias name dot float. So float it, and after floating, try to display. So for display, we'll go with the show method, which we know already. Will give us a show. So I can see here nothing is going to be printed because we are not floating. So whether it is actually floated, but it is not able to view because of only reason we are not giving that parameters. What kind of parameter we have to give? That marker is there. I'll be giving as a marker is equal to I'll give as a D. So what is the purpose of D? If I'm giving as a D, what shape you'll be getting? Can you post in the chat? D stand
Diamond.
super. It's going to be a diamond. So now marker is an invalid. Why? Why it is invalid? Because can I give marker inside the array? Inside the numpy, do we have a marker? No, right? That is what the error showing. So marker is an invalid key argument for the array. So array is nothing but comes under the numpy, but you are giving that marker inside where? Inside the numpy. So we don't have marker inside the numpy. We have to give that inside float. So here I'll give you the float. So no issue. What should I float? I should float my y points. So I have to pass this right. So you have a value, that is you're given a set of value 5, 15, etc., that you're storing in y points where you're floating it. So just you're telling us pld.float. What should I float? You have to pass that value. So now it has been floated in a diamond way. Suppose now if you want to add a grid here, so we have an option called as grid. I'll try to apply. So now exactly can I tell in this position exactly I have my first value, second value I have here, and third value. So first 5 we have here, and 15 we have here, and here exactly it should be 66 because it is like between 60 and 70. Sorry, 60 and 80. So it's going to be here. And you can tell last point is going to be double nine, which is near to the 100. Yeah. And if you want to make it as a any other shape is up to you. You can do it. Now, if you don't have a grid, problem is what? We cannot exactly figure out where it is. Randomly, I can tell like somewhere in this point, but than making this to give a clear idea, can I use grid? So exactly I can is pointing here. So it is very easily visible to eyes where we have that meeting point. Yeah. So that is the main purpose we are going with a grid. So now in the grid itself, if you want to go with if how you have a graph. So how can you have a graph that in between you'll be having small lines will be there. So now if you want to map like that also, yes, it is possible to map accordingly. So now grid with a single line, grid with a multiple line, how to display the line. Suppose you have only you can see here row wise is there and column wise we have a line. I need only the row wise. I need a grid line only row wise, or I need only the column wise. So even that, if you want to make it also, yes, it is going to be possible. Suppose we'll take our data which we had discussed up to yesterday. From here, I'll continue. Now, so we have taken the BTech CSE department final year mark and minimum etc. Is there. So now my this grid, if I'm using a grid, there's nothing but it will be depending on both my x and y axis. Both the axes you'll be getting that line, but I need axis. We have inside the grid we have a, you can see here v is equal to none, which is going to be major. Axis is going to be both. So what is this axis equal to both? Axis both means it is taking x and y by default. So and I'm telling I don't want to take x, sorry, axis as a both x and y. I need to take only the x. You can give as axis equal to x. If you're giving like this, it will point only to for that x axis. You can find the answer only for that x axis is going to be the value. Is that making sense? Okay. So now you can see here, suppose if you want to go with a y, I'll give x here and next I'll give as a y because axis I showed you that inside the parameter inside that grid you have axis as a both. That is why it is printing the x and y axis. Now I need only for the y because if you're getting into the project you'll get these kind of scenarios. So now so if you want to only face only the x axis I can go with the axis x. If you need only y I'll go with the x sorry, yeah, axis as a y. No, I need to go with a both. Then I can pass just grid sufficient. Yeah. So this is how to specify the grid. So you can see here that is what the topic I have given here. So specify which grid line to be displayed, which line you want to display. I have to display the x-axis alone or y-axis alone. So you can give that axis value. So axis by default you will be having a both, but I don't want both. I need x and I need only y alone. So now set the line property for the grid. What kind of property we have for the grid? So if you go with the grid, normally, suppose I'll take this code. So normally we'll remove this X and Y axis because hope you know about how this is working. Now inside the grid itself, we have many properties. Just now I showed you. So you can see here B equal to none, which is equal to major, axis is going to be both, and here star star K W A R G S, nothing but it is going to be a data science. When you're using a data science, you can go explore more kind of this. So now when you're going with a what kind of features we have, you can see here. If you want to add the style, yes, you can add the style. If you want to add the color for this grid, you can add the color. What kind of line width you want, this everything what we did for the floating label wise as it is we can use here. So now grid color should be, so by default it is giving me some ash color, like we can tell as a black and ash is mixed somewhat color we have. But I don't want in this line, I need somewhat color which is like which I like. I need red color you're telling, so I'll be giving as a red. You can see here I got in a red color. And this red color, I don't want to give, it's like a straight line is there, I don't want to give this straight line, I should give some style for this line because now sounds same, because this blue color also it's like a line is directly is there. And for this row wise in the column is also line is going to be straight. I don't want to show like this, should some difference should be there. So to make that difference, I can use a one more property called as line style, which we have discussed already. I'll give as a line style as what, suppose you need a dotted line, I'll give as a dot. If you need a dash line, I'll give as a dash. So you can see here, now it is dash. Now can you figure out the difference? So my, this is going to be the grid line, and what I've drawn in the blue color, that is going to be exact my meeting point. Okay. And line width, so suppose you want to increase the line width, so line width is going to be small your mean. And if you want to increase your line width also, you can give, which we have discussed, line width is equal to, suppose I'm giving as a 5. It won't suit, but just I'll give as a 5. You can see here how does it works. Okay, so when you're going with a game, so Pokemon game and a few more things, I think so many games are there right now, not able to get it. But if you go with that kind of game, you'll be having a grid like this only. So from one box to the another box, you'll be shifting, and small ways will be there to jump out. So by default, if you're giving a 1, it looks completely nice. Yeah. Now you can, if you want to go with a 3, just make a changes. You can understand which is going to be good and which is going to be not suitable for my project wise. So 2 means fine. So 1 is also fine, but not more than that. Okay. So 1 is fine, and if you want to change few more things instead that, then I can go with a 2. So fine. Anything you can give. So inside the grid itself, we have this much of values. So what about the major? Major is nothing but what you're selecting. Everything is going to be called as a major. So major property is nothing but I'm using here color and line style and line width. So these are the major things we can apply for the grid. Now, other than this, what else we have? Now, if you want to go with a multiple, like here I have one graph. That is a mean for the section A, I have one graph. For the section B, I have one more graph. Okay, or for the section C, I have to go with a one more graph, like a 3 graph I have to represent for the section A. Suppose you have a BTech CSA department is given. So now here I'm trying to finalize in the BTech, I can have a section A, section B, C, D, many sections. Now you take engineering field, CSE is like a booming out like anything, and admission is like a overflowing. You take any university, standard university, just example I can take which I worked out already, VIT University. If you take a VIT University, Vellore campus as well as the Chennai campus. I was in the Chennai campus. So in the Chennai campus, normally it is like they own pick more than a people. So certain stages there, but now it is like more than crossing 1500 people admission in one single, that is for the first year alone right now. So now currently it is going on. So admission is going on, like a counseling, everything is going on. 1500 students has been admitted. Think about the Vellore campus there. So already it is the Vellore is going to be the very huge, and we can tell as a main campus. So now leave that part. Sorry for discussing here. Now same thing in, if you go with the BTech CSE department, many sections will be there. Up to J section we have. So now J section, how can I figure out that uh, attendance for these people, or a mark for these people, or a topper for these people? I have to go with a different image categories. Now, if it is that is the case, we can go with a display the multiple float. So next is nothing but display multiple, like how you're going with a multiple point, same thing, I'll go with a multiple floats. I'll float it for many times, either it can be a 2 3 4 section wise, I can move on. So just we'll take a one example as two section, we have A section and the B section. So I have to draw the line for, or a graph for that two section. So for the two section, I'll give out two values. So already we know what we are using, just we'll remove as of now, this is not needed. Okay, sorry, I'll keep this. Those two values needed. So now in place of this value, as of now, I'll change as it is like a 0 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma and 4 I'll keep. Next I have given some value, so I'll give a two digit of a number. I'll give like this, and I have to float it. So now when I'm floating this, I'll be getting a line like this. So suppose to avoid this, I can go with the plt dot show. I can see her exactly. So it is starting from 24 and getting down 20, then slowly 22, then 27, and last has been reached to the 30. So slowly admission is increasing step by step, year by year. It has been increased. So section wise you can keep. Suppose you want to keep a section, B section. So it's up to you. So for that, this is going to be the float number, graph number one. I'll tell. So I'll go with a hash table with a float table one, and next I'll go with a float 2. So now I'll give a one more value. So some set of values again for the x and the y. So you'll be having a x and the y. So here I'll try to give same, let it be 1 2 3. So here I'll try to give some value called as 10 or 20, 32, give as a 40. Next I'll give as a 50. Yeah. Now if I want to float this, I'll give as a these two lines. So float my x and the y and show that. So will it display two times? You can see here how it is displaying. So if you want to float for the third time, yes, you can do for the third time. So how much ever you want to do, yes, you can do it. Okay, no issue at all. You float for third time. You can see here three diagrams we brought it. So now I should make a comparison. Just like if you have a up to J section, it's like completely we have to scroll down and have to compare, very difficult. So I have to make like a side by side. So now we are able to go with a multiple float. This multiple float I have to make side by side. So first I have to have a first A section here, next to that I have to have a B section, C section, D, E, F. Like that I should have a side by side, so that I can understand what is happening in that particular section wise. Yeah, so if that is the case also, this will provide. So nothing but in place of floating like this, same thing I'll copy. So I'll put as a one more function we have, that is called as a subfloat. So inside float is there, inside the float I'll give as a subfloat. So when I'm giving a subfloat, it will come near to me. So I'll show you that. So now we'll go with after this floating, I have to make this in place of printing this value, I have to make it as subfloat. So here I'm making float in place of float. I have to make it as a subfloat. Subfloat of what? So just suppose I'm giving a value called as 1 comma 2 comma 1. I'll tell you the reason why I'm giving here, and I'll go with a float in place of showing now only, I'll go with the float. What should I float? I should float my values. So what are the values I'm out to pass? Float my x value comma y value. I'll be floating. So what is subfloat? Don't worry, I'll tell you with example. As of now, just put in a hold. I'll tell you. So now we have a second. So even this I have to float. So how can I float this? As of now, we'll remove this and I'll keep here these two lines. I'll update like this. Subfloat. So in place of keeping 1 comma 2 comma 1, I'll keep as 2 1 1. Okay. So what is happening here? You can see here only one line I can display. So like I mean only one value I can display. So now in place of this, I have to draw two diagram for this. That is what the subfloat, right? So now I have to give a float for this scenario. Then I have to give show. Suppose I'm giving as a show. One by one you will be learning. So now first what is happening? I have given the x. Then I have given the y. So for the 2 points. So now I'm using a subfloat. Subfloat for 2 comma, sorry, 1 comma 2 comma 1. So float my x comma y. So up to here it is clear. Same thing for the y. I have taken some value, set of value. I'm trying to go with a subfloat. So now here I have to give like 1 comma 2 comma 2. Next, here I'm trying to give a float x and y, and you can see here two graph has been generated. Okay, so what does that mean for 1 2 1 and 1 2 2? What you mean? What is happening here generally? Very simple. We know starting point, ending point, and the step point. Like when you're going with a generally for loop or a list slicing or indexing, I said you this starting value, ending value, and the step value. Same such kind of thing, not same as it is. Just remember that because already we know. So now, suppose if you want to increase, you only will get a clarity now for the third one. See here, I'll try to give as I'll be giving as 3 here, floating value 3. Here I'll try to give as 100, 200, some random value will try to give. And see here, when I'm giving like this value error, why? Because 1 comma 2 you mean. So what is 1 comma 2? It is like you're telling us 1 and 2 is going to be the graph I want to represent. Suppose you have 1 changing to the 1 comma 3. So then we have a 1 and here we have 1 comma 3. So you can see here I am able to figure out the three diagrams. So now just understand this 1 is nothing but a starting value. From the there I'll start. Then 3 is nothing but totally I have a 3 subfloat values. Now again this 1 is nothing but in that subfloat my first floating should be this 1. 1 indicates for this float 1 and this 2 indicates for the this float 2 and same thing for the 3. Okay, 3 is nothing but here. And you might ask, sir, why it is displaying like a down? Nothing but if you want to make everything in the same category, yes, you can make it. So comparison is going to be subfloat is nothing but one inside another. So now this grid will looks like this. So now suppose you want to increase the 4 or a 5 or a 6 or a 10, it's up to you can do it. Okay. Now if you want to increase your point, suppose I have given here comma 100, here I'm giving a value called as 7. Okay, you can increase whatever you value want to do it. Yes, I can do as I wish. Got it? Now this is how the multiple float will look. So now if you want to I don't want to go like this. I want to go with a vertical wise and a horizontal wise. So because inside the subfloat what is there, I'll tell you. So see the subfloat, inside the subfloat you can see that first is nothing but how many rows you want. N rows. How many rows you want? 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. You are mentioning that. And in that subfloat next is nothing but n columns. How many columns you have? So I have 2 rows. I need a sorry 2 rows. I need 1 column. I need like a mention. You can mention like this. Now same thing. Now it is displaying in which format? In this, if you take, it is displaying first is nothing but we can figure out very simply here by telling that subfloat. So what is my first category? Row value. So how many rows I need? I need only 1 row. And how many columns I need? I am telling like I need a 3 columns. Okay, that is going to be column n column I'm telling. So last is nothing but which value you want to predict it. So you can see a third parameter. what is my current figure out value should be there. So last is nothing but index. So first index, first value, first float, second float, third float, that kind of position you will take. So I can put as a position, which position. So first position, second or a third or a fourth. Now, there's nothing but displaying like a one row, two columns is displaying. I don't want in such category, I need like a row wise. I need to have a multiple row, but only one column. So what can I do? Same code you can just copy and I'll post in the chat also. If needed, try to compare and check from your end. So here I need to change what in place of one column, sorry, one row, I need to make it as a two rows I need. I'll make it as a two rows. And how many columns I need? One column. And what is my first value? One. Yeah. Now, what is my next category? Totally, I have a two rows. I'll make it as a two rows. How many columns I want? One. So you can see here I got two rows, one column. Okay, so this is going to be the, we can tell as a horizontal vertical wise, very simple. Even that way also you can tell, or if you want to go with a row wise in the column also, so your understanding only can use it. So both the way we have discussed. Now it just looks simple, right? Very simple. We cannot figure out. Now we are telling this is going to be A section, this is going to be B section. Some we are making some assumptions, so that we are telling. So how can I put that here? So this graph belongs to, or this floating belongs to section A. This floating belongs to the section B. So how can I tell that? For that, we have to go with a, can I tell as a title for this? Can I use a title? So now I'll tell, or this belongs to the BTech CSE branch. This belongs to the EC branch. So how can I figure out this? We have a title. So for that title, label also you can give or title also give. So title you're giving for the floating one as PLT. How to give a title? What is the method name for the title? PLT dot title only. So now as it is, we'll use, so title. Title for what? For my float one. So that float one belongs to, so I'm telling as a CSE section. Okay. Now you can see here I got the value for that float CSE. But did I get for the float two? No. So I have to make that right. So I'll give as a PLT dot title. Title for what? For the second graph. And what is the title you want to give? I want to give as a mechanical. Mech I'll give. You can see here. Okay, okay. Where I made a mistake. Mechanical, why it is displaying in such category? Okay, okay. After showing, I'm trying to display. I should give next to this here. So sorry, because after displaying, I'm trying to show the titles. That is why it is printing like this. So, alignment problem. Okay, now you can see here it has been like CSE is here and MEC is here. Same thing, you can do this title for up also. And if you want to give here, before the show, we have to give. Here I'll give as a MEC. So you can see here this graph belongs to the CSE and this floating belongs, or a graph belongs to the MEC. So easily we are able to figure out, yes, this belongs to this branch and this belongs to this branch. And many things we have discussed about that label. Suppose you want to give a label, or this color have to change, the CSE color should be changed. And we have discussed, again, I don't want to touch that. So just remember what we are doing, what you learn already, step by step we are moving with a new topics. Now you have to make it as a super title. So you can see here when you're going with this code, this is going to be sounds good. I'll take this category. Suppose if you take here CSE and BTech. CSE and BTech for what? Sorry, CSE and MEC is for what? Belongs to BTech, or a BE is there and BTech is there. So I have to give something called as a super title for this. Title is going to be, so here CSE and MEC is going to be the, just is going to be a title. But for these two, that is CSE and MEC, for these two will have one more title. Okay, so that is called as a super title. So how to include a super title? So nothing but in the same code, I'll try to, after this giving a title, I'll write as PLT dot super title. Super. title. So what is my okay, okay. What is my super title? So my super title I can give as B Tech batch number 2022-2024 batch. I can put this title. Yeah. So now you can see here it belongs to this BTech, and it is belongs to 2020 batch. And if you want to align this also, already we have discussed about this alignment. Okay, so you want to inside this, if you want to explore more, just put shift plus tab. You can see a number of things. So T is nothing but only title name what I'm passing. Okay, so add a center title to the figure. So if you want to add it, yes, you can see here one by one we have it. Okay, so you want to go with a alignment towards the left side, right side, or a center, you can do it. And if you want to go with a vertical alignment based on the top, center, and the bottom, yes, you can make it. Okay, and even the font size, if you want to change the font size, so this title you mean is very small and have to change the font size. Yesterday we have discussed about the font size, and how to change the font color also we have discussed. So font size, font weight. Okay, so what kind of things you have to return, so that color, everything we have discussed. And what we have discussed yesterday, you can insert in that. You can see your font size is going to be 12 they given. Just for namesake, I'll try to take this as of now. So font size, so inside this I'll pass as a font size 12. So it will increase to the size 12. And if you want to give as 100, so it look awkward. So, but just I'm telling for the example, you can explore like this. So inside just put as shift plus enter everything, sorry, shift plus tab, everything you'll be getting. From there only you can type one by one by seeing that. Okay. So font size, suppose I want to give as a 50, can give as a 50. So, but it suits for me. Suppose I'm giving as a 20. If you think that 20 suits, 20 also is not suiting, I'll give as a 10. So 10, and again that will not be suiting much, I'll give as a 17. So 17 is not suiting, but I'll give as a 15. So according to your graph, according to your diagrammatic, it's up to you, because it's like a completely your front end part. You can give as you wish. Yeah. Now this about the grid, and inside the grid we have discussed how to give a subplot, and for the subplot how to give the title, for the title how to give the super title we have discussed. So just we are covering the topic one by one. I can see here. So specify the position is done, and set the line property for the grid. Subplot we have discussed, and the title, and we have discussed with the super title. Next is nothing but scatter. This is a major topic. From here, you have to concentrate more. So what you learn up to now, it is like a very basic, very basic, and very common for every project or every based on your research works. Yeah, but now whatever you're learning from this number from 25 to 32, it takes some time to get into the content, and it is like very interesting than this. These are the small things, like if you can tell as a data type, variable, what is identifier, these kind of things only we are discussing, small things. Yeah, but now it is going to be the major thing you'll be discussing in the data visualization. So let us take this example. So first we'll go with the matplot scatter. I'll put a title here. From here we'll get start. Okay. So now matplot lib scatter. What is scatter? Scatter is nothing but like when you're going with the machine learning. Okay. So you will be having a supervised learning, unsupervised learning, or you can go with a, like suppose you have some graph is there. You have to represent this neuron is going to be this category, and this belongs to this category. You have to make a segregation there. So for making a segregation, again you have to go with a CNN model. So in that CNN model, so conventional neural network we used to tell, in that CNN model, I can segregate what kind of figure you want to do. So some suppose you want to train. So because three set of things we have, validation is there, and testing is there, and training is there. Suppose 100% is there. For this 100%, I'll train my model. Suppose I have a model machine. That is my, what is machine learning? You are training the machine. That's all. So machine will work for you. Before machine is working, you have to train. That's all. That is what the machine learning. Very simple way we can tell. Now, when you want to take a machine, I have a model. For that model, I have to train them. I have to give a training for nearly 70 percentage of training I have to give. 70 percentage I can, according to your model only. But mentally, I'm telling 70 percentage of training I should give. And next, for the training is done, and if you want to test, I have to give 30 percentage of the test. It should be less than that. Okay. So training should be more and test should be less. And validation. So we have to go with a cross-check validation. So validation also will be there. Okay. So now, based on the modulation, what kind of things you are trying to give. So same thing when you're going with the scatter plot, same such kind of things will be doing. So I totally have 100%. Out of 100%, I'll give you a training. Same if you take this course. Okay. So we'll be giving you the 70 to 80% of training will be giving, and we'll be conducting the test to make 100%. Yes, at last we'll validate what kind of performance you did in this 10 days. How many people are active? How many people are not active, how many people are regular to the session, not regular to the session, how many people scored 100, below 100, below 90, below 50, also fail category, pass category, first class category, everything will segregate and will mention what mark you're scoring. That also will be mentioned in the certificate. 100 of two, like suppose out of 100 you have scored 99, you have scored 99, that mark also will make you displayed in the certificate, because that is going to, in place of giving grade system, you are providing with a mark. Yeah, so be aware of that. So training is going to be 70 and testing is going to be 30, and last is going to be validation. So you have to train the model more and you have to make a testing whether you are knowing or not. So we have to solve some question. So through that question, I'll try to validate, yes, he have learned properly. So see, if I'm raising any question, if you're able to answer, then which means that you are knowing, then you have trained well. Suppose if you're not knowing, and doesn't mean that you are not trained well, and doesn't mean that you are not knowing, you can learn in a better way. Yeah. So now this how this scatter plot will work in the, oh, sorry, okay. Now how to go with the scatter. So now I'll be having a two set of values. For the two set of values, I have to train my model. So suppose my model name, I'll take this numpy only. My model name, first model, so m1 I'll keep. So model 1, I have to give some set of values to train them. So I'll be giving some set of data, like five, first day I'll be teaching for 30 minutes. Second day I'm teaching for 45 minutes. Third day I'm trying to train them for 15. And next I'll go with a 66. Next, I'll go with the 77. Something, I'm giving some random data. Okay. So for the model 2, I'll try to train my model 2 to compare this two. Okay. I'll go with the array. So in this array, I'll try to pass 1 day. So because simultaneously we are running with a two different batch. So hope you know that. So 25 I'll give, and here I'll give as a 32 and 12, and next I'll spend 45 or a 54 or a 67. Next is going to be 22. Suppose I'll be giving this kind of values. And or you can day number of days are more. Suppose first 6 days you're training, then we'll go with the testing part, validation part. So some random value I'm trying to give, increasing the size. Now when I'm giving us a plt dot float, so float my model 1 comma model 2. Now you have to compare how many training is done for the other people and for you people. So now I'll go with the plt dot show. So to display my figure. So value error. Okay. Got it. Okay, you have given this value, right? Because you're using a numpy, so array should be same. So now we'll be getting it. So now it is going to be, it is scattered. No, it is floating. Okay, actually floating is nothing to draw the line. Actually, I don't want floating. I need to scatter it. So for the scatter, we have method called as SCATTER. So just click on yes. In the yes itself, you'll be having many things. SCA, SCATT, scatter, scikit. So psi will be there, and many things are there. You can see here subload. We have discussed about the subload in the previous part. Subload to grid. So what is upload to grid? Try to research it. So subload I'm giving as a mosaic. Same thing for the subload tool is there. So adjust. So if you want to adjust something, so based on your subload, if you want to adjust it, yes, I can do it. So like we have discussed about the SUP title, super title. That is what is super title. So thing which we are there, everything we are using one by one. We cannot learn everything. Okay, but and wherever you go, I said we cannot learn or none will teach everything. Yeah, so according to your project you have to make your mindset. Yeah, now so in as of now you have to use a scatter, so I'll choose the scatter. What I have to scat, so I have to use a scatter float for my model 1 and the model 2. So you can see here it has been scattered. Yeah, now it has been scattered. Now we have one is nothing but you're telling as a one scatter, so only one point is there, completely fine. So we have only one set of pointing, so there is no confusion. Now I'll go with a two set of training model. So I'll go with one more model here. So leave this. So this I'll tell for the day one. I'm training the model for my day one, and second I'll be training my model for the day two. Yeah. So how the research will work? So you have to make a comparison. So suppose you how what is a research like if you go with a research methodology. So what does research work? So research is nothing but you have to make a experiment. Suppose take a very small example. Tell you. Suppose you take a Horlicks. So Horlicks is going to be the example we can tell very clearly, because those who are not knowing or those who are not doing masters also, that you can easily get into it. So nothing but you have a Horlicks, one person or a three set of people I'll choose. So one woman, one men, and one is going to be men. So I'll take it as a two men. I'll write here. So one set of people, two men and one woman. And the set two or a group two, in the group two, I'll take same two men and one woman. Okay. So now here, say for the group one, I'll give the Horlicks. For the group two, generally whatever they are eating food, I'll try to give them as a test. So here also they will eat whatever these people are eating, same food only they'll eat with a group one and the group two. So same food will be provided, but only change is nothing but Horlicks will be taken by the group one people. Horlicks will be skipped by the group two people. So I'll try to train them. So few within a day, can you see the changes? No. Whatever you, for example, you're going for the gym. So one person is going for the gym, one person is not going for the gym. So within a day, can we compare these both? No. So regularly that fitness is needed. Same thing. So I'll be providing the food, same food for the two set of group, and same thing. One extra is nothing but we are giving the Horlicks for these people. Now, after 6 months, what is a drastic change in them? So whether it's going to be like a bone wise, it is a strong, what kind of advantage they are getting. So this is what the research. I'll try to compare these two. So one set of group have taken the Horlicks so that they are not facing or not getting this advantage. One set of people have taken it so they are facing this or getting this advantage. One people are not getting, one people are getting. So what kind of things? So then only I can tell that Horlicks is going to be the strength for the health. So boost we are telling, Horlicks we are telling. How we are telling it is going to be a strength. How to prove it? Because before launching the product, you have to prove. So that is what the experiment used to tell. That is what the research works takes a lot of time, nearly 6 months to 1 year or more than that also we can tell, because of this kind of huge experiment. Same thing if you want to train the model, it's not that much easy to train your model. It takes some set of data. So you can tell as a data set. One data set I can train only for some for at like a limit time. So same thing we are going with the day one in the day two. Now this day one and the day two, when I'm showing this, when I'm showing this, you can see here like this it is displaying. It is displaying like this, but actually I don't want like this. Why? So suppose if we need to go with a two differentiation, I can go like this. So one person is having, one person is not having, so I can float like this. I want to figure out everything in the same. You can see here that has been showed here. So now I'll be plotting my x comma y. I have scattered it and I have scattered this value so I can display it. Now this both the value I should combine. How to combine? So nothing but, so value, whatever you're passing your value, I can scatter it and I'll try to show you how. So from this kind of scenario will be happen when you're comparing the largest set of values. So first time I'll be going with a m1 value. So from this m1, then m2, then plt dot scatter. So m1 comma m2 and m1 and m2 again. I'll go with a different model. So here it is showing only one set of value because both the values are same. Suppose you should change the value to 10. I'll take out all the values and I'll show you how many difference are they. 20, 30, 40, 5, 60 or 77. So six values here also I'll give some different value. 99, 22, 44, 50, 33 and 55. Okay, last one is going to be 11. I'll keep. So you can see here. Can you see the color changes? Previously only one color, right? So there is no biggest difference because value is going to be same. So now I have plotted it like this. So now these are the improvement we have for the Y people. These are the improvement or a decrement or whatever revenue you want to give. So or a result you want to give, I can give like this. So this will be scattered like this. So we can tell that this orange belongs to day one and this belongs to the day. So now based on your values only it's segregated. So how did I find this second first value is going to be blue? Because just think about the value. So if you want to change the value also, like here we have orange color here. This orange you have to change to any other color. We know already. So how to go with a bar? So now if I'm getting like this is called as a scatter. And I need to compare with help of some bar chart. So by with the help of chart, if you're representing, it will be completely fine. So for that, we'll go with the next topic called as a chart. So now here, first thing in the chart, we'll go with a bar chart. So under the matplotlib, we have a bar chart. We'll discuss about the bar chart. So same scenario we'll try to represent in the chart wise because scatter is nothing but fitted. Now if you want to use your CNN model or a DNN model, what I might be it, yes, you can use it and based on your algorithm, it works. Now, so now first thing, I'll go with a bar chart. I'll tell you what is bar. Already hope you know what is bar chart, right? So now in the bar chart, I have to display like a how many people have been registered for this Python course, okay, or how many people because simultaneously we are running for the Java, Python, C++, even for the Ruby. I used to train the people. So now, most important thing, not Ruby with make only two or three count like a person I used to discuss. Now based on the open challenging, how many people are registering for the course and how many people are the exact count of it. So finally, how many people made the payment? Because few will register for the course if it is a free. If it is a payment, they won't register. If it is free alone, for example, I am conducting some demo session for the first two class. Okay, so based on the demo session, then you have to go for the payment. So what happened for the free session, 100 people if it is registering, and for the final count will be less than that. For sure, damn sure will be less than that because few will pay, few will not pay because of payment. Yeah, but free means our count will be more. But our limitation is going to be 100. Now, see here, for that only we are going with a bar plot so that we can understand how many has been done. So I can do uh, some set of values like I'll take a coding language which we are providing from the Inspire. So what are the coding we are providing? First, we are providing Python. More important, we are giving for the Python. Next importance, we are giving for the R programming language. Next, we are giving for the Java. Giving for the Java. Next, we are going with a C programming language. Next, we are going with a Ruby. Ruby sounds less always because Ruby technically it is completely different. But if you know Python are these both are brothers. Okay? This is going to be the separate island. So it's like an ocean. So Java, it's like not, will not complete it. Keep on, it will complete. Same thing Python. Sir, can I complete Python? No. I can tell 80 to 90 percentage you can do it. 100 percentage, even if you take a developer or if you take anyone in this world, 100 percentage, none person can do it. It's not that much easy because I showed you already. See here, inside the scatter itself, how many parameters are there? So in this function cell, we have this much function. Can you involve into all the function? Can you remember this much stuff? Remembering is very difficult task. And if you are traveling with only one programming language is somewhat, it we can tell okay. But I used to travel with Python, R, Java, C, and I'll solve the placement question. I used to train up people based on the Infosys, Capgemini. Today, I said you right, set of people have taken the DXE interview. So my set of students, which I have trained today, they have attended the DXE company. So based on that placement training used to give, based on the language, those who are completed the language, those who are working for the final year will give a, or like a Google form, like those who are working under the final year will give a special training for the placement. Like if it is a, if they are applying for the Infosys, what is the pattern to train them? So like that, I'll go with the coding. So for the pseudo code wise, for the Capgemini or for the Wipro, these kind of things are there. So now coding is equal to Python, R, Java, C, Ruby. And what is the count of this registration? I'll keep a count variable. For the Python, people have registered 90, and for the R language, people have registered 36, and Java programming language 75, and C programming language, I'll take it as 77, or I'll keep it as 80 to make some reference. And Ruby is going to be very less. I'll go with 10. Okay, so two-digit number I'll take. Now you want to go with a range. So what is a range? So suppose you want to draw the graph, like we can tell as PLT dot. Can I give float? Can I give float here? No. Suppose I'm giving us a show dot show. What should I show? You're telling me to display. What should I display? You're not passing anything, right? So how can I display? So first of all, we have to train the position wise, X position and Y position. X position I'm giving as a NP dot range. So what is my how many people? Okay, how many cores we are trying to give? I'm trying to give length of my count. So how many, or length of my coding? How many cores we are offering? Totally 5 cores. So length of my cores or length of my count? Anything is fine. Which maps? So that I'll try to display. You can see here attribute error. So it has no attribute called as a range. Okay, okay. We have like one mistake we did. Okay, now understand the error. Module numpy has no attribute range. So what thing to be modified here to rectify this or to overcome this error? What changes can I make? We have discussed already.
A range.
That's it, sir. Rocking. So it's going to be a, we have to give as a range. So because from this to, because the range we have in the list, but when you're going with a number numeric Python, we have to give as a range. So now did I get the output? Yes. So far it is working smoothly. So as of now, I don't want to print this, remove it. Now what I have to do, I have to go with the bar plotting. So I'll give as plt dot bar plot. So for the scatter, we are giving as a scatter. So for the show method, we are giving a show. For the float, we are giving as a dot float. So etc etc. Same thing for the bar chart, you have to give as a bar over. Yeah, inside the bar, what else if you want to have, if you want to explore more, just click on it. You can see here, just we have few things: x, height, width, bottom, star is nothing, will tell you the value. Alignment is going to be center or where you want to align it, and default you will be having a center, and data is going to be none, nothing will be there. If you're giving as a generally like a bar also, you can see here it works. So some parameter you have to pass, again no issue. So that is what they are telling. So bar missing require two position argument. One is going to be x and one is going to be the height. So what is the height of that and what is going to be the x value? So what is my x value? So that position is going to be the x value, right? So I'll give as a position, x position. One by one I'll give x position. In the x position, I want to give some height. So what is the height? Height is nothing but this count only, I'm telling as a height. So second variable is called as a count. I'll give as a count. Okay. Now, after making this, when you're floating, can I get the answer? Just see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is getting, and here if I want to avoid that, I'll go with the show, so that you'll be getting clear display. So now Python. So Python is going to be a zeroth position, we know. So what are the position we have discussed already? So to print that also, we can use a print x position. So x position is going to be 0. So the zeroth position, who is there? Python. So what is the count of Python? More than 90. Okay. And what is the count of R programming language? R is going to be 1th position, and R is going to be what? So it's going to be 36, so it is between 20 and 40. So you can see that line. So 36. Same thing for the 75, between 80 and 60, and same thing for next category, one by one. And if you take a last one, Ruby, so that programming language is going to be same. So it is like a below 10, so it is going to be displaying in between 0 to 20. Yeah. Now here I'm giving 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I'm displaying directly like this, can you identify this 0 belongs to which group? Can we decide? No. So this 0 belongs to what? So the 0 belongs to the Python. Here, if I'm seeing the code, I can understand Python. If I'm displaying this bar chart to you, can you find this belongs to the Python, this belongs to the C? No, we cannot do it. So now we have to give some, in place of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have to give here Python, R language, C language, Ruby, like this Java, I should give the value for it. So can I go with the X label, Y label? No, it is not a label, right? Label means for the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'll draw label. So after this, after bar, I'll try to give as a X label. So PLT dot X, X label is there. So what is my X label? The X label I'm giving as language, and Y label PLT dot Y label I'll give as registration, REG count, registered count. So now commonly I'm here able to print registration count. Hope you can see here registered count, and here is going to be language. What language you're providing? N number of programming language are there. So which language you're providing? So for the Z, in place of 0, 1, 2, 3, I have to give some name. How to give that? So for giving that, we have a tick. X tick we used to tell. So now we have to give. I'll, after implementing, I'll share. No worries. For the X, I'll write as a PLT dot. Okay, X nothing but X label. I'm telling. There I have to tick it. X ticks have to give some value. So what is that value? That position. So X position, and what are the position for that X position? We have to give some value, right? So X position is nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have to replace what? Coding. That coding is nothing but Python, R, Java, C, and Ruby. So now you can see the changes. It has been updated. So Python language, R programming language, Java programming language, C language, and Ruby language. So by using what? By using X tick. So next we'll do one by one. Then finally I'll try to share you the answer. Now what I'll share better. Then we'll change the code. Let's check whether it is working in your side or not. Now after making this X tick, what else can I make? What else can I make? I have to, can I give a title for this? This belongs, this everything is organizing by the Inspire team, right? So I'll give as a one title. So PLT dot title. PLT dot title. So what title? I'll give as a title as Inspire underscore intern batch. Intern batch. So I can get as a title. So for the internship batch, so for the Python they have registered for this much, for the R they have registered this much, and for the Java C, one by one they have registered. Now if you want to make a legend, so we have an option called as a legend. I'll tell you that. So, or before going with a legend, leave that. So just we'll try to go with a simple code to make you understand. I'll go with the array itself. Based on the array, we can do it. Suppose I'll go like this. Simple diagram. I'll tell you. We have a x point. X point is equal to np dot array. Inside this array, I'll give as a first f, comma. For the second, I'll keep as a s. For the third, I'll keep as a t. And for the fourth, I'll keep as f. And for the fifth, I'll keep it as fi. Okay. So now I'll try to give some value for it. So y is equal to np dot array. I'll give as 8 comma 18 comma 99 comma 44 comma 25. So these are the values I'm giving, and I have to draw. So how to draw the bar? I have to give as a plt dot bar. That's it, bar. What I have to inside the bar by default? What you should have? X should be given. What is my x value? I'll give as it is. What is my height? Height is nothing but y. And you want to make it as a done with a printing. So just I have to go with a float dot show. So when I'm showing this, you can get this output. Yes, FST, FI. Yeah. What about F? F is not displaying Y. Okay. F already is there. Okay, two time it is there, right? That is why duplication. Sorry, I did not see that because first also we are given F. For the fourth also we are given F. Sorry. Okay, so here should be F4. Now we'll be getting it. Because it has been combined. Okay, it's like a oh, it will write overwrite. So both the image will be in the same bar. Okay, so now we can figure out the first, second, third, fourth, and the fifth. Now it's a very simple one. So if you want to increase the width also inside this, we have a parameter called as a width. So I'll give as a one. One is nothing but it's 3 years. It has been changed. So one is nothing but everything looks like histogram. This is going to be called as histogram. So now I don't want that. I need to go with a point 5 I'll give. So you can see some changes. Or point 7 I'll give. So you can see some changes. Somewhat it looks fine. Okay. Now, based on this, if you want to take this code, okay, in this code, free registration is going to be free registration is going to be 90, 36, 75, 80, and 100 has been free registration course. Now, who's going to be the paid? Well, I have to display a revenue like how many people have registered for the free and how many people have registered with a payment, like a paid course. I have to filter that. How to filter that? Then I have to go with a two bar because for the one bar you're telling as a free, one more bar you're telling for the paid. So then we need to go with the two bar. So that two bar we'll try to write here. So now as it is, we don't have to change anything. This language, registration count, as it is will be there. So now what can I change? Nothing but I have to use a two bar. So where we have a bar, here we have a only one bar. So this one bar I have to make it as a two bar. So I'll write one more PLT. I'll give a space to make a easy. Yeah, writing only for this line. So dot bar. So second bar, I'll be having what position? X position only. So X position. And now before that, I have to give how many people has been registered, how many people has been not registered. So that biodata I need. So now I have to create a one more count. We have mentioned as a count. Now one more array, I'll keep it as a paid underscore count, paid count. So how many paid out of 90, 50 people has been paid. Out of our 10 people has been paid. So just I'll give some extra count so that you'll feel somewhat height changes. You can see I'll give as a 15, 50% I'll try to do. So 75 I'll give as a 40, and for the 80 I'll give as 55 I'll give, and for the 10 no option we have to give only 5. So fine. Now we'll be going with a paid count. So one is going to be the count registration free count, and one is going to be a paid count. Now what is a to make a difference with the help of that I have to take a count. Then I'll go with a width, which should be somewhat different, or I'll try to as of now just keep a count only. So now what is my label, or I'll try to give as here, I'll try to give as paid underscore. Now you can see here it is displaying like this. I got the output. How it is displaying? out of just like a displaying like a overwriting. So how it is displaying out of 90, exactly 60 people. So that blue color is called as a free, and this orange color is called as a paid people. So now out of 90, 60 people has been paid for the course. Next, 36 people. Out of 36 people, only 15 has been paid. So it is dividing that there. Color. See the color changes, you can understand. Clear? But finally, how to find the difference? It is like a not completely looks great. So how to make this? Nothing but I have to move this one bit away. In place of overwriting top of it, I have to move bit away. So how to move it? Just whatever value is there, try to give point 5 or 0.5. Can see some changes like this. Even this also not looks pretty great. Okay, so now here also I'll give as a x is given, minus I'll give here also point, I'll give as a 1. So you can see here again it's going to be a not a biggest changes. Okay, cool. Fine. Okay, I'll increase the width for this. So difference is completely fine, but I'll give some width. So just I'll include the uh, width as zero point 0.4. So and here also I'll give the paid count with a width width as zero point 0.4. So can I see any changes? Yes, can you see the changes now? Super, right? Now it looks super. See here, Python. So in the Python, how many people has been registered? Blue color. So blue color is going to be the free, and orange color is going to be the paid. And you can see the difference easily. So this much free and this is going to be paid. This much have been done with a free account and it's going to be the paid account. So this is going to be the thing. And now if you see this directly, this chart. So now can you figure out this blue color is mean for what and orange is mean for what? We cannot identify. For that, we have to give some label. So what label can I give? So one label is for paid and one label is for not paid. So for that segregation, you can write like in this bar, I have a parameter called as a label. I'll give a label as reg underscore count. And one more label I'll give as paid underscore count. Okay. So now just we'll see what kind of difference is getting. Error. What kind of error? Object has no property. Okay. Label. Okay. It should be, it happens. It should be a label. Okay, fine. So now we can see some changes that it is going to be a count and it's going to be here. Where it is displaying. So this label I'm trying to print, where it is displaying. It is not displaying. Now we can have a method called as a legend method. LEGND. So that legend method will give you one output. What is that output? Suppose I'll take here. So I'll show here and I'll go with the difference. I'll go with the legend. So now remember what we are doing here. Just we are applying the legend. No handle with the label found at as when it be a legend. Why so? Okay. After displaying, before displaying, I have to make a legend. Okay. So even though same mistake. White. So okay, cool. I think so it is not working for this because we have taken the list, I think so. No worries, we'll do it here. Or why not? It is working here. I can give here also. So suppose I'm giving for TLT dot legend. Okay. So now for this legendary part, now so for this legendary, no handle with label found to put in legend. Okay, some data are missing. So should I pass any argument? No, there is no argument for this. Okay, we are passing here. Fine. Okay, just will continue here. I'll check. Okay, but we'll make here also. We'll see what it is not meeting that expectation. So fine. So suppose here you want to make it as legend. Yes, I can make here by giving after this. PLT, it's not working. Doesn't actually we have. Okay, we'll give us title after this. I'll give here. Yes, yes, you can see it is working. Okay, previously we are not giving that label. Okay, now I got it. Okay, it happens because for that labeling we are not giving that label. So got it. Okay, so see here. Generally here it is working. You can see that label. So this blue color belongs to the registration, like a registered count. Blue belongs to the registration count, and orange belongs to the paid count. Yes, it is printing. There we are not giving this. Suppose you are not given this label, I will be trying to remove it. Okay, I'll try to remove those, and I'll try to remove this also. Now also you will be getting then you have to pass some value. That value you are not, that value is not there, they are meaning. Okay, so that is what thing. So now, but in this scenario we are giving this label. So label is equal to paid count, and label is going to be registration count, so we are using it. So now no issue, I can get this kind of stuff. So blue color belongs to the registration count, and orange belongs to the paid count. Yes, successfully we have done it. Yeah. Now what else you have to make? Now we have only two data. Now if you want to make a three data also, you can make. So like suppose you want to go with a three, four, five. It's up to you. You can make like a year wise you want to predict. So in the 2020 I got this much of profit, and in the 2021 I got the profit. So when you're going with the profit and loss category, this bar chart will help you like lot and lot. Yeah. So now, if you want to draw horizontal wise also, yes, you can make it as horizontal wise. So how to make horizontal wise? Any idea how to make horizontal wise? No issue, just very simple. Just you can give one more parameter called as, I'll write here. Where is that code? Okay, this is sufficient. Okay, this example is suits fine because very small. I'll go with the same example. So horizontal wise, I have to display. So FST, FO, and FI is there. So this I have to display with a horizontal wise. So if you want to put this bar in horizontal wise, just very simple. Don't want to do anything. Just you have to write as VAR. In this VAR itself, many suggestions you will get. You can see here VAR VS. Bar VS is there, bar H is there. Now, if you want to display bar with a horizontal wise, we'll be using bar H. So now you'll be displaying in the horizontal wise. Okay, width. Okay, width is going to be, suppose I'll give as 50. Multiple value for the argument width. So multiple value for the argument width. Okay, width we cannot take, right? It is a height, no? Okay, okay. It is height, not a width, height. Height. So now you'll be getting, because horizontal wise we are going, so it is not width, it is going to be height wise. Got it. So now you can see here. So first value is going to be this, and second is going to be a value was given, and third value, fourth value, and the fifth value. So horizontal wise, if you want to print vertical wise, just bar, and if you want to use for the horizontal wise, you can go with the same thing here. In place of displaying this all the value, I can display in the horizontal wise. If you want to think like to print it, then in here, in place of bar, I'll put as bar H, and here also I'll put as bar H. So you can see here type error again, a bit mistake, because here I have to make it as a height. Height, here also you make it as height. Okay, so you can see here it has been generated. So this orange color, everything is going to be paid one, and blue is going to be the register one. And you can see here that everything is not aligned properly. So if you want to align properly also, we can do it. So just nothing but you have to change here. So where you have to change this label, you're given as where you're passing. Here you're passing, sorry, where it is. Okay, so here you're passing coding, the coding is that coding. Okay, so here you are making this coding. So coding where you are passing this coding as a exposition. You're giving us the exposition. No, it should be like a white tick. So it should be in place of x, sorry, x sticks. So then in place of x position, you have to give as a y position. In place of quoting, you have to make it as that position wise, what position are giving. Then according in place of 0, 1, 2, 3, only this we have to print. So you have to make it as a y position. Suppose you're making as a y position, and give it as a store in the y position. Okay? So you can see that okay, it is not updating. Then somewhere here we are making, okay, here you have to give y position and y position, a position and y position. Okay. It's not updating. Okay, I'll check for this. It should be somewhere. We are missing y. Here also we're giving y position correct. Do we have like? Yeah. Hmm. Yes, we got it. Okay. So now we got the solution. So see here. Okay, we are previously are giving x stick, right? X stick is nothing but your value, your label is sticking to that x position. Now we are displaying in the horizontal ways. We have to give as a y tick. So when I'm giving as a y tick, you can see here Ruby, C, Python, Java, and R. It has been done. Yeah. So this about the today's session. I hope so. It is very interesting. Slowly you will increase your strength here. So I said it's not easy to learn very quickly. It takes some time. We are giving you the basement. Okay. So through the basement, try to explore more. So because directly we cannot jump into the large set of data science projects. Okay. Slowly, if you know something about idea only, we can do it. So now you are getting some idea how to what is data visualization, what is pandas, what is numpy. You got some bit idea about it. So how to work on, you made very simply. If you implement it regularly, it is very simple for us. And most important thing, when you're learning more, you cannot remember more. Yeah, as a human it happens, we cannot remember more when you're getting some error. So when if even I forgot about this white tick, really I forgot it. So why it is not working? So it is, if it is error I can find it here only, we are making error. But here this kind of small things we cannot remember. So for this purpose only, when you're typing, when you're implementing, you'll get some ideas. So that is why you are telling to explore more. What you're learning, try to explore more, make a mistake, from the mistake overcome. Okay, that sounds fine. Okay, so that's about the today's session. Okay, so if you have any doubt, let me know dear. If no doubt, just put a thank you in the chat and you can leave the session. Thank you so much. Try to prepare well, be ready, and try to score 100 marks. Can we use a box plot? Why not? Yeah, sir. Stephen, sir, box plot is there. Bar plot is there. We have that. So I think so. Box plot, I think so. I cannot cover in this part of one day. Okay, we'll see if possible. If you have any doubt or if you need any personal suggestions like answers, I'll try to ping you personally or just put a hi in my WhatsApp. I'll try to help you out, because tomorrow we'll go with a histogram we'll be discussing. Other than that, we have a pie chart. Pie chart is going to be one more interesting. How we are going with the bar chart now. So same thing for the pie chart, you'll be having one more interesting, like a that circle wise, how to go with that legendary. Many things are there that we'll discuss tomorrow. So fine.
Hello,
Until
sir.
yeah,
Sir, have you heard of this language called Solidity, sir? Or are
solidity.
you familiar with it?
No, no, yeah, really no.
Okay.
What about it? Do you have any idea about it? If you have any, let me
It's
know.
for blockchain development, sir. I just wanted to know the languages we need to be familiar with in order to move on with that.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine. Okay, let me search from my end of developer side. Okay, so for the blockchain, you need one language.
Yes, sir, that's Solidity.
Okay, okay. Which
Yes.
will be like if you learn, if you want to take any tool, like only one language will not be there. So for the blockchain, I'll try to check which going to be from my side. I'll check with the people. Many students are doing. My VT students, they are doing some internship and they are going into the blockchain. Let me contact with my student. If they have any suggestion, I'll try to give their numbers or I'll give your number to them. You can contact them for sure. They'll try to help you out.
Oh, sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah, sir.
sir, actually, if we can implement all this visualization using Excel data,
Yeah, sir.
it will be wonderful, sir.
Mhm. So you want to do like when you here we are typing like a numpy, we are giving some number. In place of that, you have that numbers in the Excel sheet or CSV file. From there, you have to draw the figure.
Exactly, sir.
Yes, yes. That I'll do one thing. I'll try to take that code. I'll try to show you personally, sir. Or tomorrow we have one more session. There I'll take a small table, or we'll take our which we have discussed all pandas.cs. So that table itself will take and we'll filter like a age wise, salary wise. We'll draw like that. That for the bar chart and even for the pie chart, we'll make it.
Yes, sir.
Fine, sir.
Actually, I would like to learn about statistical correlation and all.
Yes, this is needed, sir. For statistics, this is completely needed. Just help you.
Okay, sir.
Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other doubt for the people? Okay, fine. No doubts. Okay, fine. We'll wind up. Thank you so much.